So, can anyone tell me? See, I will be covering the literature review part as well as a few reference managers which will be helpful for you, like Mendeley or EndNote, and as well as the bibliometric survey by which you can identify the different journals and the top authors in your area. So I think everyone have identified their topic, at least a broader area. So now it's the time to do the literature and make it a specific one, right? So you have already took a broader area of the literature. You have already taken the broader area for the literature for the based on the broader area, like it might be a deep learning or artificial intelligence or smart cities, smart manufacturing. So these are nothing but the broader areas. Now you need to narrow down your topic by selecting the precise problem of any one precise problem. So for that you need to do the literature review. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by literature review?
Summary of any research paper in our words.
Okay, and
Studying
what?
about what work has been done in already in that particular area.
Studying of what work has been done, right? We can't say it as a studying. We can say it the gathering the information. Studying is respect to the knowledge, for knowledge gaining. So whatever the area you are choosing, like it might be a manufacturing or broader areas, it is in the assumption that you are having a little bit knowledge in that area. Then you are selecting the broader area. After that, you will be going on narrow downing. So narrow downing the things are nothing but collecting the information what actually has been done, right? So anyone else
To find the research gap in our particular topic.
to find the research gap? Yes. See, anyone again? You can quickly. We can. Hello.
That is a summary of research paper
Summary of research paper.
in your own words.
Okay. So before telling what do you mean by a literature review, first thing I would like to tell you that literature review is not googling the things, right? Literature survey and literature review is not just to Google. So Google will give you the information which was been assessed at a maximum time, right? It might be a trending one, you can say it as a maximum which was been used during which was been clicked many n number of times, or which was. So there are now, you can say it like there are so many activities like from we can pay Google to bring your article or bring your whatever the thing at the upper side. So journals will also do those type of things, some of the journal. So first thing you should remember that literature survey is not googling the things. Many time you say it like if I Google I can get many information, right? Most of the information will not be correct. You need to cross verify, you need to check, right? So first thing you should remember that literature survey is not googling the things. Right. So then what do you mean by literature survey? Right. Literature for doing a literature survey, you need to have a brief knowledge of journals, the areas, and many other things which are being used in your area. Right. So first thing, what do you mean by a literature survey? What are the sources? What are the different strategies that you need to adopt, right? What are the different publishers in the area? Major publishers are nothing but many of you tell when I was interacting with students who were who came for the consent, um, So I found which journal have you studied? They say it as a Springer or elsewhere. So those Springer, elsewhere, Taylor Sciences, Inter Science, right, Willy, these are the publishers. These are not the journal. Journal name will be again narrowed down, right? IOP. So again, narrow downing the things is nothing but a specific topic will be there for the journal, like ICT. Recent trends in ICT or artificial intelligence, deep learning in this area, or so these are narrow downing. So the journals and publisher you need to identify clearly. So the first thing you should remember, elsewhere, Springer, and uh, Taylor's Francis, IOP, these are nothing but the publishers. These are not the journals. So it's a difference between it. Then coming to writing it all and different tools for writing. What different tools? What are the different reference managers you can use? What can be the activity that you can do are nothing but the things. So, what do you mean by a literature survey, and why? First, before telling what, you should know why you need to do a literature survey, right? So literature survey is majorly been done, like many of you told just now, like some of you mentioned about the gap as well. So to find out the gap, right? There are different types of gaps as well that we will be seeing in detail in the further um, slides. Just a minute. Okay. So what are the different approaches that have to be used, right? So what are the different gaps? Different approaches means it's nothing but when you see study a paper. I think many of you, while selecting the topic, also at least a few papers you would have studied for the literature. So for the papers related to your area, so approaches is nothing but the methodology what they are using, and to obtain that what say. So this the statement what approaches have others used is nothing but the methodology what others have used. Right. So what are the different gaps in the literature? So again, coming to gap, there is different types of gaps. It's a knowledge gap, it's a research gap, right? So it's an information gap. So knowledge gap is nothing but which is constrained. Like if I go go on studying. So if I study about the wood, or if I study about any metal, right? These are the basic things which are need to be known. So that those are nothing. Those basics are the knowledge gap, and research gap is nothing but when you coming to the specific topic. What are the in the methodology or in the results? It might be, right? So what difference you are making while studying the literature, when you are writing out the different gaps in that, so what difference you can make in that area or in that topic, so you need to identify. As well as the novelty is nothing but the one of the major thing in every research. So many of your guides would have told you that there should be any novelty you need to identify, because broader concept can be given by the guide, but in depth when you go on, you should find the novelty before submitting your proposal, right? Now again, like it doesn't means when you find to find the novelty, you are assuming or you are imagining something and trying to do that is also not possible. So placing your research in that context and the based on your surrounding, like what equipments you are having to carry out that research, what facilities you are having, those things also plays the important thing to in the literature for them, right? So again, like avoiding duplication, similarity and plagiarism are the major thing, and many would have told you in the induction as well. So rather than that, avoiding duplication of the work, right? Similarity is nothing but like you can rewrite your sentence, you can change the context. You can paraphrasing you can do of any statement, and you can avoid the similarity. But duplication is nothing but similar work. If you are doing a similar work, if any person is doing, so it is not adding any value to the fraternity. So that is one of the thing, right? As well as the clarification of the controversial results is one of the major thing. So at the last, state of art, like extend and build on the others, on the work of others. Like your work of others is nothing but what gap you are finding out here is nothing but based on that you are building your work. So based on the gap. So these are the different points. It not limited to the eight, but these are the minimum 8 points which you need to remember why you need to do a literature review survey. So now coming to what is a literature survey is nothing but literature review or survey, we say it as, is a type of a what you say, like um, presenting the current knowledge, right, including substantive uh, evidences as well as different and relating it with the theoretical and the methodological contribution to some topic. So this is nothing but literature review. So presenting it, so how you present it? By by selecting, by going on with all the 8 different points, you are going to tell how what you are exactly going to do, right? So what do you mean by literature review? Literature review is nothing but a critical analytical account of a existing research on a particular topic. So it's nothing but what I said. It's a type of a review which you are presenting. You are presenting your current knowledge, including substantive finding as well as theoretical and methodological, based on with the contributions are being built on a particular topic. So so majorly we have seen why we have to do a literature review here, right? So here, why do you write a literature review, right? There is a difference between both whys. So to show the knowledge of a topic, right? Keep your current to keep your knowledge or keep your understanding to the current context, as well as it is like a stone to the research or further analysis that you will be seeing. So, have you understood what exactly I am speaking about?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
I think someone should mute.
Yes, sir.
In between, there was a little bit noise. Right. So when I am speaking, try to mute yourself. When I ask some question or any after the topic, if I start interacting, you can unmute yourself. Okay. So these are the major things. So why first we have seen majorly like literature survey is not a Google, Googling the things, right? So why we are going to do a literature survey, and what is a literature survey, and why do we write a literature reviews, right? So now coming, what is a literature review and what is not a literature review? So literature review is a critical and analytical account. So everything, like someone would have mentioned when I asked the question, that what do you mean by a literature review? He said, someone answered that writing in our own words a summary, right? It's really wrong. A descriptive summary of existing literature is not a literature review. It is literature review is a critical and analytical account. So critical thinking comes into the picture. So everything you need to enhance critically. If you are not enhancing, checking it in the critical way, so it's of no use. So if you are just writing a descriptive or a summary of that literature, so there is no use. So whenever you write a literature review paper also, there will be a first, you will be writing a intro part, right? So there will be a introduction. Second point, there will be a literature review, right? So after that literature review, the third, after soon after the literature review, you need to find out, write the gap, right? As well as you need to write what exactly you are going to do with respect to that, and how your paper is different from that, and what is the major parameters which you are choosing which was not been done in the literature review. So this is nothing but the critical. So so always you need to remember any paper or any remarks you are writing, so you need to write it in a critical kind of thing, right? Just writing he has done, I have written a paper, like if I am anyone is describing Satish has done this, so it's like you are telling that it's the work is to the maximum, right? No further work need to be done. But when you present it like in a critical way, so you are telling there is a scope of further improvement. So always you need to add that, right? And literature review is not a presentation of your own argument, right? Synthesis of argument, like only not criticizing it, right? Like if I state, like instead of someone would have used a material steel for preparing some preparing some manufacturing some item, right? And it is giving some different property. So when I argument, like when I present the critical arguments, it should not be like only criticizing the thing. It should be, right. It should be the justification as well. If you are criticizing this work has not been done to the maximum, then you need to give the uh, add on what exactly you are speaking about, and what exactly can be done, and how it can be achieved, and what is the difference. By some theoretical concept you need to justify the things. Everywhere you need to justify your things, right? So it's again not the organized, the literature review is not organized by source or written as a bibliography type of thing, right? It is around the ideas. Just by collecting the bibliography or different papers and writing is not the thing. So it is like the idea. First you need to find out the idea, then you need to go on doing the each and every step to achieve the context as well as the gap. Also it is not like the it is a piece of work which is related to your topic, right? It is a selection of writing relevant to the your work, and in detail you need to
नाही ते पेजमध्ये बसायला पाहिजे मॅडम. आम्ही बघितलं दोघांनी खूप ट्राय केलं ते एक दीड
एकच
मिनिटं
मिनिट
लागते.
चालू ठेवा.
नाही बघ.
uh, Prashant, you need to mute yourself always. Don't unmute in between, right? Everyone are requested to kindly take care about whatever the things like muting yourself, because in between the flow will be disturbed. Okay. So it's not as I was saying that it is literature review is an account of selection of writing relevant to your work. It is not just related to the topic. So as of now, now if you are, we can have a detailed discussion like what do you mean by a literature review now? Yeah. Anyone? Now, if you can explain me whatever the things we have studied related to your topic. Yes. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So now anyone can tell me what exactly you have done in the literature with respect to your topic. Now you understood, right? What do you mean by literature? So why you need to do the literature review, and what is a literature review? And so how you like while writing your proposal as well. when you were sending to the your guide, so you would have written something. So what procedure you have followed? Kindly share.
Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So my name is Surbhi Dhatte, and I have chosen a topic related to medical images. Uh, so my question is that I was able to like do a literature survey. I don't know whether it is a review or survey, but like around 10 paper I understood, which are from like reputed journal, and they have tried to solve the similar problem, but they all use different models to solve it. So if I have done a little comparison, like which model give which kind of accuracy and which model have what amount of data set, so will that be considered as a literature review, or do I need to add and propose another solution from my side for that without executing?
See, when you write a literature review survey paper or anything, you need to add a substance like what exactly you need to do in the further steps, right? In your thesis, you would have seen in your thesis also, whenever you write,
Mhm.
so at the end, there will be a chapter for a future scope in which you will be describing your own gaps, right? When you are going to write at the thesis. So similar way, when you write some literature review, you need to propose different parameters, not a single one in the literature
Mhm.
review, because it might not be implemented because you are not yet started. But at the end, you need to propose at least two to three different parameters that can be seen used further, and
Okay.
which will give the research direction to the to the readers at least,
Okay. And like
who are
in
going to.
the 10 papers which I studied, so out of 10, the 6 papers had a similar model, but their data was different. So they were getting different results. And some settings which they did were little different for the coding point of view. So if I am able to like add on to another approach, little similar, but just a slight change, will that be part of literature or like actual thesis it should be? Hello?
Sorry, can you come again? There was a cut.
Yeah, sorry, sir. So, like 6 papers I read, they were they had similar approach, like from deep learning point of view, but they did little different settings. Uh, so, little bit similar they were. So, if I am also like kind of able to reproduce
Identify.
similar model but have little different settings, so will that will be considered as part of my literature work,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
as
that
okay.
that will be considered, but you need to identify the exact problem what by which was causing by their problem as well.
Okay. Okay.
Because like
Okay.
in the deep learning models, majorly it will be a mathematical model
Yes. Yeah.
behind any algorithm. So
Hmm.
in that when you study that algorithm, you need to go with the mathematical part, and
Hmm.
you need to identify what exactly, right? It might be if they are using different methods, like when you are studying, simple example I can say, M1 also, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Identifying x plus y is equal to if there is some equation for
Hmm.
identifying
Hmm.
the unknown parameters, there are 3 to 4 methods,
Hmm.
Gaussian
Hmm.
method, like different
Yes.
methods are there.
Yes.
So while identifying, you need to identify what was the problem for the
Research done.
before methodology was which was being used.
Uh-huh. Okay. Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else? Hello, Ajit Singh.
Yes, sir. So I had the similar one, what was discussed just before. Like if somebody is using the different method, little bit tweaking only. Let's say somebody is using the artificial neural network with some optimizer, but I want to try different optimizer because it has not been tried, or they might have tried and they have not published the results. So that similar situation I also want to bring up here. And then will it be called the the different one, or it will just come under the literature review? The same question I think
This
you have answered.
Yeah, and comparing the 3 to 4 models won't work in the research. It is just like a review kind of thing that you can write for the review paper. So when you compare it, you should the outcome of that comparison should be a new one, right? What parameters they have not selected, at least that if you can identify, it will help you for further modeling the thing. Right? Anyone from mechanical or civil, electronics, other?
Sir, the same on the same ground. Can you little bit elaborate? So suppose one is the deep learning method, and then somebody is using open source like Python. But I want to try it in MATLAB. So MATLAB maybe using the different, on the same ground. Let's
See,
say the tool will be.
Ajit,
Let's say yes, sir.
Ajit,
Yes, sir. Ajit.
I
Yeah.
am telling you, I am telling you with respect to the mathematical model, not with respect to the tool. Either you use a Python, either you use a MATLAB, either you use a C, C++, or Java.
Mhm.
So that make much difference in the mathematical model. If you are you can do the same thing in the MATLAB as well, and Python as well. Some few differences will be there in the code while writing the algorithm.
Okay.
That
Okay.
is not, with respect to the mathematical thing and with respect to the concept, you need to identify, not with respect to the tools. Either
Sure.
you
Sure.
use any Python, MATLAB, or anything, right? Function and if you write a strong mathematical model, you can implement that in Python as well as
Sure, sir. Yeah, thank you. So all will come under literature
will
review
not
only.
review only. Okay, anyone else from other departments?
Hi, sir.
Yes, Ashwin.
Yeah, it's Ashwin from mechanical department. So my question
Yeah.
is that what is the difference between literature survey and review? It's the same meaning, or is there any specific difference?
It's the same meaning. Survey and review are synonymous, you can say.
Okay. So, but
Yeah.
very like in few cases we are using survey and sometimes we are using reviews. So anywhere like specific to use that, not
Nothing.
specific.
It is not specific. It's just like a synonymous which you are using. Majorly, it's the difference between the verbs, you can say it as in the English, right?
Okay.
Survey is nothing but the act of surveying general view, right?
Okay.
So
Mhm.
when you go to a review, subsequent reading of the text, you can say it as. So both means the same thing, right?
Okay. Okay.
It comes under the English kind of things, both are the nouns, and uh, uh, it is synonymous. Review is a synonymous of a survey, right?
Okay.
That you will be using. Like what are the synonymous of different words will help you in paraphrasing the things. That's all. So for to avoid the similarity as well, they use these types of words.
And
Right. So if I give an example, a paper is there, survey of deep learning methods in manufacturing, right? And if 3 words, a survey of deep learning, so I can change it survey. If instead of survey, if I write it as a review of deep learning, so I am avoiding the similarity. That's all. For avoiding that, they will be using the things. It's a synonymous. You can just check in the dictionaries as well.
And
Okay.
yeah, one more question.
Yeah.
Like mention the publication, publisher and the journal name. Okay. So how to identify like see I know now the publisher. Okay. But how to identify which are the journals are good for in particular areas? Is any specific guideline for
Uh,
that?
Ashwin, I am having a slot of 9 hours total, 9 to 10 hours, in which
Okay.
I will be teaching you everything. Okay.
Okay. That's it. So no
This
issue.
is just a introductory class, you can say today.
Okay.
So we will be going in detail how to do the bibliometric, how to search whatever SIU access, right? Everyone would have got the SIU library access, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, how to use that library access and how to do a bibliometric survey, what are the tools, what are the reference managers, everything we will be studying in detail, step to step. So it
Okay.
was just a introduction class, like what is a literature review. That's all.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Hello,
Yeah.
Satish sir, I'm Sonali. Uh, I have done actually a survey, but I think now it is not that literature survey because I have studied 10 to 15 papers and I have just written whatever the things happened in that paper. So now I understood that. But one thing I want to ask you, sir, my topic is fractional differential equation, and I have to develop the numerical methods to solve the fractional differential equations. So whatever 15 papers I have, already they have used the different methods. So if I solve that one of the differential equation by using different numerical methods, is this I can say whether it is a future scope or
No, no. You need to find something difference, like using the same methodology and solving it with a different approach won't work, right? Some difference, major difference need to be there.
no, with the different methodology and the same equation we can't say it is a future
Okay.
scope.
With the same equation and different methodology, it will limit you for one paper, you can say, like, right? But when you go for a PhD, it should be a broader one, more broader than what you are saying. Like if I take with respect to mechanical, I can give an example. Like in a BTech student, simple example, if I say, like BTech students do the research as well in symbiosis. So what they do, they take a paper and the methodology, little methodology they change and publish it. So it will be limited work as respect to BTech. So when you go
Okay.
when you go with PhD, it
Okay.
will be more
So
broader. You can say it as
so we have to generalize the things.
generalize the things and be specific with respect to what you are going to solve and how you are going to solve.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yes, anyone else? Rahul, Rohit, Sagar, anyone from civil?
Sir, I am from computers.
Okay, Rahul, yes.
Samant.
Okay, Rahul, any questions?
No, sir. Actually, I was working in the field of machine learning and machine understanding. Is NLU, natural language understanding. So I'm reading different models and thinking about the gaps. What you have already discussed, sir.
Yeah. So in the further classes, we will be looking into different sources of the literature and what are the different types of gaps, right? Which I told you in short today. So what are the different sources what are the different technologies, right? As well as we will be looking into different types of references. So, like what is a Google Scholar, right? How you need to use it efficiently. So, other things like, and we will be seeing a reference Mendeley as well. And at last, we will be looking for the bibliometric survey as well. So in the next class, at least identify few papers, right? And we will discuss after I explain. We can discuss the same thing, like how what methodology you used to download the papers, right? What method, like how you are downloading and what are the points you do a trial and error with on yourself. In the next class, when I am having the schedule, we will be discussing that as well. Right? If anyone is having any other doubts, you can ask.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I am from electronics background. My research area is on electric vehicle battery to upgrade the battery lifetime as well as the range of the battery. So, can we compare with the Tesla model and we can improve that model, our model, to means with parameters in machine learning, deep learning is come under the literature review or research work?
It is coming just under the literature. You are what you are doing, Radhika?
And I want to improve my battery lifetime as well as the range of the battery that is exist on this India. So I want to compare this with Tesla model and improve that with our model.
Okay, your model. But what model you are approaching, that is also important, right?
Okay.
What methodology you will be adopting for increasing the battery life is one of the important parameter by in which you can do the research. But when you compare, it will be just a thing. But the methodology is need to be strong in respect to the when you say EV battery, because there are n number of parameters, like what type of solution you are going to use in the battery, what is the material of the battery, right? So
Yes, sir.
in that prospect also you need to think. So not only with respect to the electrical, with respect to the acids which you are going to use in the battery as well plays important. So the composition of the acid will vary from the battery to battery, and by varying the composition and identifying a new composition which is like extending the battery life is comes under the research orient.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then
Hello.
anyone else?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, Sahil.
Yes. Sir, I want to ask you about what is your opinion if we are writing a review paper, should we only go for the transactions or journal papers, or conference papers will also be accepted?
So, the conference papers also will be accepted. There is no issue. Conference paper are generally the initial part of your journal papers, you can say it, right? So it can also be accepted. That we will be seeing in detail in the next classes.
Okay.
That is also one of the part of the lecture.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Amrish.
Sir, my question is, if we find some research gap, but however we also found that it is not implementable or it cannot be processed, then what to do?
See, I told you initial only. So you need to find out the gap with respect to the tools when you write the critical thing as well. So it should be achievable,
Okay, sir.
right? Don't imagine like where if you are finding a gap is nothing but and you are not if you are unable to achieve it, it's just like imagination kind of concepts you can say.
Okay, sir.
A simple example like the Hollywood movies, they show n number of things, but implementing those in the real life takes a lot of effort, right?
Yes, sir.
Similar example question you are asking.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So I think Nitin sir.